In this video, we'll go over some best practices for editing a workflow, especially one that you didn't build yourself in the first place. The best thing to do to start editing a workflow is to make a duplicate. I'm going to edit this pet trust. You can see here that the word copy has been appended onto the title, and this is a complete copy of the original. Great, now I can move on. The next thing that I want to do is to look around and get a sense for what this workflow is. By default, it'll probably have the toolbar hidden, so you want to click on the toolbar and have it out, and then you can see what's in there. Depending on who built this, it might look slightly different here. Sometimes invisible logic pages, which have computational complex variables, are in pages that look like this with IL or some other notation that shows that they're invisible logic. These are good things to pay attention to because these are places where a new variable is being created. A few things that you may want to change. Maybe you want to change one of the questions. Maybe I want to ask a question. What is their first name? If I'm just changing the question language right here, that's fine. I can just change that like this, click save, and then I'll see when I click run that it will be updated as I wanted to. What I want to stay away from making edits to are the variable names because my document is already connected to this variable name in the relevant spots. And if I make a change here, then I'm going to have to make a change in the document as well. I can totally do that, but it's not advised because it's simpler just to keep it as it is. You may also want to add some logic to something. Maybe I only want this page to show up in certain circumstances based on a prior question. I can go through and add the logic that I want and make changes there. And I can save my work if I do that. So you can do things like this. I can again change the question here a little bit, but I want to keep the variable names the same because my document is based on that. Some other things I may want to change are some settings. Maybe I want to customize the messaging here or the custom messaging of the emails that go out. Maybe I want to change who receives the workflow when it's completed. Maybe it's already set up to go to a specific email address and I want to add a recipient. I can do that here. It can either be an email or a variable that is an email variable. All of those things are options. So I have a lot of settings that I can adjust as well in these workflows. If you want to make edits to your document, that's also something you can do. So you could go to document templates, download the document, and then once you're in the document, you'll want to open up your document tagger and log in. If you've never logged in before, you'll go to your dashboard, go to grab an API key here. Create a key, copy that key, then you'll use it to log in. So I'll use sign in like this. And then I will choose the relevant workflow here. I want to make sure to choose the copy. And now I can make edits to my document here. So maybe I really like to make my documents in certain colors. I can just change the colors like that. Maybe this also really needs to be green, or maybe it needs to be a different font also. I can do that kind of thing. It's the brackets here that hold the formatting. So you want to make sure that the brackets have the format on them. And maybe I want to add a new variable somewhere. Maybe I find that I really need to add this. Then I can use the word add in. Maybe I need to add the settler's first name, settler one's first name right here. Right there. So now it will go in right there. So I can make edits here as well. I need to be very careful about when I'm deleting here because if I delete half of a condition, maybe I delete an end if, but I don't delete the if that starts it out, then I'll get an error message when I try to make that change. So to save my changes, I'll choose the document here and I'll click update and gavel. And then now that version will be the version attached to this document in gavel. Say I want to delete a variable. This is where I need to be really careful and I want to have a good sense of the workflow that I'm dealing with. In this case, maybe I really want to delete the settler1 full name variable. So first I'm going to make sure I know all the places it's being used. I'm going to use the search tool here, which I can get by clicking on this funnel, settler1, full name, and I'm going to search all the places it's being used. Okay, luckily this one is only being used in this place. What's happening, it's a new variable, and it's defining the full name when the settler middle name is empty. If I want to delete this, I'm going to have to delete all of the elements of this logic, delete, and then save. And in fact, I may just want to delete this entire page because it's no longer relevant. I would also then want to make sure that there are no other references to this variable inside my document. Looks like there aren't, but sometimes there could be, and in those cases you would want to make sure to delete all of those references. I also see this error message pop up, which tells me that my document actually has this variable in it. So I'm going to have to go into my document to make those changes as well. So now I'm going to go search it in my document. And it looks like it started to find it for me. So this one is no longer my workflow, so I will delete it here. And I will keep looking for all the instances of it. It looks like it's here as well, so I'm going to need to delete it there. In reality, I probably wouldn't be deleting this variable, but this is just an example. And I'm going to need to find all of the instances of settler1 first name and full name and delete it from my workflow. And it looks like now I found all of them, so I can use my add-in and I can update that in Gavel. As long as I have the correct workflow that I'm working with, select the document to replace, and then click update in Gavel. When I'm done making my edits and I've clicked run and I know it works, in this case, when I'm done making my edits, I've clicked run and I know it works, then I can replace the original by removing the word copy and saving it as the original name. I will save it here. And now it has replaced the original.